Hi guys.
Hello, and welcome to Mindful Bollocks, the podcast where spirituality meets real life, and sometimes things go awry.
Let's be perfect. Oh,
Sorry.
I interrupted you already.
No, I interrupted you.
That's all right. Don't worry. Let's be honest. It's not all incense and perfect lotus poses. Life is a bit messy. We're always mindful, and sometimes it's full of bollocks, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm Melanie.
I'm Kay. Hiya.
Hello. And we're the Mindful Bollocks team.
What we discussed last week?
Nothing.
Nothing.
It did not work last week. We had a complete meltdown.
Yeah, huge apologies to anyone who had to see that 3 minutes of hell.
That would be Mr. Mel.
Yes, I'm sorry about that.
I think he was the only one because we literally cut it off really quickly because like, this is just not working. So we were supposed to cover pleasing and then corruption and cover-ups, and we will. That gives us more time to. There's more stuff coming out of certain things, so we can look at that.
There's loads in the documents already.
Yeah.
I did a proper deep dive into that. It's quite uncomfortable, isn't it? But historically, it's massive.
I think it's not that I'm anti-law and order, but I think the people who are the ones that are, if they're going to be coming to me to say I've done something wrong, then they need to be white and white for me.
It's kind of hands clean, isn't it?
Yeah.
Before you, my nan used to say, clean your own kitchen sink before you comment on someone else's.
Well, I can never comment on anyone's kitchen sink. Actually, I can. Every Monday I have someone to come and clean my kitchen sink for me. So
absolutely fine then. Perfect. No, I don't. People shouldn't do that anyway. I don't. If I come to see someone, I don't go to look at their house or what they've got or the arts and farts or any of that. It's like, I've made the effort to be here. I'll come to see you. That's it, isn't it?
So this week we're actually looking because it's
it is that time,
the holiday season,
the season of Joel.
That
we really love.
I'm trying to, my life is memes. There is a meme that's like we're entering out of one season and entering into the season where everyone starts shouting about how they're not allowed to say Merry Christmas anymore, which is complete bollocks.
You say you can say Merry Christmas.
It's like
you can say season greetings, can't you?
It's like, do we have to acknowledge other people's holidays? How dare we? But there are I think it's about 26 different holidays in December, January.
Yeah, there are.
I was watching something this morning as I was putting my makeup on that was saying that part of that is because the calendars moved, because there was the Julian.
Didn't we?
Yeah, we've talked before about the Julian and Gregorian calendar. The Julian calendar was used in the time of Jesus, but because that wasn't actually, I think the Hebrew calendar is actually a lunar calendar. So some calendars operate on the sun, some calendars operate on the moon, some are a combination of both, and it's just and that's why they're almost like the same holiday, but some of them have moved.
I've got a theory on this because it's all about light, and it's just your interpretations of light.
Yeah,
and historically that's where we sit. It's light and day, and we've overcomplicated everything by saying this dates this dates that, and just.
And I meant to try and find it. We've got something really interesting about where the real current idea of Christmas, not the Christian idea of Christmas as in the birth of Jesus, but like how Santa and all that sort of stuff came about. It was really interesting, but we're not really talking about Christmas. We're talking about Yule. And
the cycles.
And yes, I think the thing for me with like having the wheel of the year and that's not really a pagan of old thing, it's a neo-pagan thing, isn't it? And that's something I think we have to be careful of.
I think we need to talk actually about the fact that an awful lot of things are being labelled pagan that aren't. I very much, as we've said before, am not of the pagan origin. I'm elementalist, and an awful lot of even following the calendars the way we do is not pagan. It's got borrowings of everything in it, and it's become almost an umbrella terminology, and it's just all right. Well, that's pagan, and then you have got the negative connotations of paganism.
Well, pagan often meant just not Christian.
Yeah, and that's all it did mean, and it's pre-Christianity.
Like heathen, they also called the heathens, which was just meant of the earth, which sounds good to me. I'm happy to be a heathen. But some of the other ones that I thought were in, obviously we have Hanukkah, which obviously we the first day of Hanukkah recently we had absolute terrible shootings in Sydney. So, and we condone no violence, against any. We are no violence against anybody. And
that's horrific, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that can be sort of into November as well, because again, because it's based on the Hebrew calendar, it changes. Kwanzaa is quite a recent one that's been created to celebrate. I'm gonna say it says here African American culture, but I'm gonna say Black American culture, because technically Elon Musk can be cast as an African American because he comes from.
It's cultural association, isn't it? And not
one of my friends celebrates it, and there's sort of like someone says a word and there's like a pullback, and it's like different words every day, and it's like really looking at different. It's about unity, and it's very very interesting. Maybe next year. I
think we should really talk about that, because especially at the moment where everything is so disconnected, there's nothing better than unity and everyone creating community and standing together. Everything's a little bit disconnected, and this is why we're in this Yuletide time of year. I haven't got my Christmas decorations up.
We don't do Christmas.
No,
we've got cats as well, so
but I don't know. I just
do you do Christmas decorations?
I will be putting them up.
Is that
probably after? It's because we've got birthdays in December, and I kind of think celebrate the person first, because to all intents and purpose, the way I grew up, you were looking at the image of the Sacred Heart and that's not accurate anyway. It's all a massive pullback of Christianity when you look into what we're actually celebrating as the Christian celebration. It's Victorian anyway. It's pre that it's the winter solstice that's the important part and the shortest day. And because we decided to move everything to December to make it Christmas, like Christmas, that's where we are.
Christ Mass, in fact.
Yes, Mass. It's and the Mass is the ritual. Again, you've got the crossovers with all the rituals, and if you look at spell work and then look actually into the origins.
I can see.
Here we
I can see Steve.
Yeah, I know. If you popped off, I think you probably see it. But it's just bad. Anyway, I digress. Sorry, but it is relevant. It's not. For
me, it's like it has become like Christmas. It's come so commercial. That's why I like connecting with things more like Yule, because it's more just traditional about connection and unity.
And I like ritual anyway. So that's. It's, I'm in my comfort zone with the Yule element. That's the truth.
Well, the thing, one of the things that is ritual is the Yule log, and it's not the one made out of chocolate.
No, it's
although
not.
They are nice, I do like them. I like them too. It's that something I heard about that was that it's almost like connecting the 2 years. So it's like you keep it from the previous year's stash of wood to like connect with this year's stash. So it's like a connection of.
There's you've got that as well, and you've
continuity.
It's like wall singing, isn't it? Where you go wall sailing.
Yeah,
I can't say it, but that's also from the Yule festival. But that's and what's the equivalent we've got to that now is Christmas caroling. You go to front doors and you literally are, to all intents and purposes, wailing, aren't you? There was actually there was a post on Facebook this week where 100 years ago in the town that we're in at the moment, Leighton Buzzard, they actually threatened Christmas carolers with jail because they'd been Christmas caroling from the actual end of November. And the law, but I think it was just they wanted it just to be not that far away because they had enough of it. So 100 years ago, Christmas carolers were nearly jailed in Leighton Buzzard. So there's a fun fact.
Leighton Buzzard has a huge tradition of having is it Christmas Eve, the carol concert?
Yeah. That is really pretty actually, and that's nice memory maker. like with parents, etc.
We went there the year my dad passed, and they started singing. I think it was something like "Oh Little Town of Bethlehem," or something, and like they got all the kids to sing.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. It really is. Do you know what though? For all I say is about I hate Christmas. I don't, and I'm cross with myself that I even have that in my mindset. I hate the commercial.
Yes.
I hate the fact that you watch families putting themselves into debt. I hate the fact that you've got the availability of credit that you can be paying for Christmas for 3 years in the future. I hate that. I do hate that. I know small businesses rely on these times of years.
Well, that's the issue. That's the issue. Is like we have been advocating on our socials to like pull back a little bit at Christmas, but then it's like,
absolutely.
Well, but then that affects local.
If you are following it, I have tried in all of the mindful gifting segment to actually add a caveat that another way to mindfully do this would be to buy a plant from a local florist.
Yeah.
Get some bubble bath or a refill, get something. Use your local. If you're going to buy a scarf to wrap something in, go to a local boutique because they have little add-ons that you can add. It's so hard.
Every little, to quote a big store that's an arsehole, every little helps.
You don't have to collect points to go shopping.
No. Well, that's just, they're doing. I think it was Tesco's that started. There was something about that. There were Tesco's. We might do another one on that.
Oh, was it the computer vouchers?
It's just. I
remember that there was like millions of them, and you never got a computer at school.
Lots of people. The club card thing came in, and nobody had it, and then everybody realised that their sales went up so much because of what they were doing.
Then
everyone else. That's why you have now. Everyone else has one. So I think we need to do, because obviously the word of the week. We're doing a word of the week this week is Yule.
Yeah.
And it's in Scandinavian. It's spelled J-U-L, but still pronounced Yule. And it's got many derivatives, but basically it's an old Germanic thing. So it's like all the Germanic languages. And I like this one. It's literally the plural word, and it means parties.
Because it was a 3-day feast minimum.
Apparently, lots of even Samhain was a 3-day feast.
Yeah, but that makes more sense because if it's a bit dodgy, the weather's a bit of a you couldn't, to all intents and purposes, you couldn't. We didn't have all these luxuries we have now. So if you couldn't celebrate it, you had to celebrate it because it's actually a ritual celebration. So it makes sense for it to be a continuation, so that you can still get your thanks in, which is really what it's about, isn't it? It's thanking for the previous year. Well, but there is the thing about the year having 2 halves anyway, and then 1 year being 1 year, 1 half of the year being 1 year, and then 1 half of the year that we call it now being the next year. So that's quite interesting as well on the calendar front.
One of the things I was listening to this morning while I was putting my makeup on as well was saying that in some of the Norse traditions, it's when one god kills the other god, and then in the next year, the one that was killed the year before kills the one. It's almost like a swapping over.
Yeah, it's in unison, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, there's some horrible bits, but
it's like the just the circle of life, and one of the things to do with the Norse was the Odin and the Wild Hunt.
Yeah, I've got that right in front of me now. Odin, because you've got gods that are associated, haven't you?
And the Wild Hunt was collecting up the souls of the departed, and that's why people stayed inside and feasted, because they to keep themselves safe from being accidentally scooped up
in their souls. But look at the parallels with sewing. Look at the parallels. It's where something that's ancient has then got borrowings, and it's just how we celebrate, and everything is about our existence, isn't it? That's all, and ritual.
Because our own we didn't have Tesco's in days of old, so
you were reliant on the cycles,
and the good harvest. So you'd be trying to appease even if you didn't fully believe in the, whichever those gods specific, it's like please the universe or whatever.
Freya as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
The fertility god.
Yes.
That's where the boar, the sacrifice of this. It's a sacrificial. You give that back. That sacrifice is eaten as well. So it's not. I don't want it being disgusting, or it is horrible anyway. But but it's just the way things were done.
One of the things about the timing as well we were talking about before was apparently it was more in January because obviously it was a Julian calendar and it had got out of sync with the actual solstice. But then the king Hakon of Norway, who was Christian, ordered that they be celebrated at basically the same time. He brought it back.
That's mad, isn't it? It just shows you that power can change anything, can't it? Everyone's birthday's going back 10 days. Just that's pretty much what it was, wasn't it? Because they think the actual date is somewhere between the 6th and the 8th, don't they? That's but then that's not accurate.
No.
You can, if you look up stuff, it's too old to be accurate. If our concept of time is odd.
Yes. Actually, I took a picture because I take a picture of loads of stuff I see on social medias of interest. So it was basically the professor got his class to do like a thing to basically completely change your concept of time because we do things the same. We do things the same all the time, and our brain almost then, a bit like the movie Adam Sandler movie Click. That's I think how I really, I'm not very keen on Adam Sandler, but I really understood that where you're sort of completely disconnecting from certain bits of your life, and therefore that actually makes life seem going quicker because you're just doing the same thing over and over again. Your brain doesn't really register it because it's not novel. So it was like,
is it submissively? Really, do you think?
It was like he was doing like in the morning and in the evening to really connect with something.
I don't think I've seen that.
I'll find it and I will share it to our socials as well. And it was because that's one of the I talk often, and we will have a proper episode on my time in the sex cult. But basically, that was like getting really in touch with the moment, basically being like the whole point of the practice was to be completely in the moment, and time just went really, like people I'd literally met a month before felt like I'd known them forever, and like I'd only been in the community 6 months, but it felt like 5 years, and
that's where time is interesting, isn't it? And if it's this thing where you can be with someone and spend the day with them, and it's like you've just met because it's gone so quickly because you're so relaxed in their company. Or equally, you can be in situations where it's incredibly uncomfortable, and it can feel like a
5
month.
minutes is a month.
It's really time is such a precious commodity, but it's so linear.
That's one of the things I want. Like, I want to build a Patreon community. That helps of people that want to be more self-aware, that want to be more in touch with the moment and build connections with each other, and to build connections with themselves and the moment. And it sounds all very but
it does sound very woo, but it's not, because both of us are quite astute, aren't we? To what's going on and read the room.
We're not. This is one of the things that I also want to talk about on this podcast is that sorry, I talked over you.
You're right, I don't mind.
It's that some people who are woo, it's almost like a way to leave this realm and be up and disconnected in. But I think for both of us, I agree with you in that both of us are quite grounded in our spirituality.
Yeah, absolutely, because we have to live in society. That's the truth. We have to be functioning, and I want to be a good person regardless. And there's got to be something, isn't there? If for all intents and purposes, if I'm absolutely gone with the fairies, which I have been told that before, what are you on about? Well, I've got to meet someone in the middle to still have
Yes.
connection.
Yes.
And that's really what it's about. It's
Yes.
about understanding everything, but also not disconnecting. Because I think in these situations you could become so introverted because you could get so into yourself, enjoy that, think to yourself, bloody hell, it's quite nice being on my own. This is, we've said this before about, I've got about 72 hours before I've got to get out of the house. But you can go a bit longer, can't you?
Yeah, you can go 3 days, I can go 3 weeks.
and I'm murderous because I think without energy of other people, even if I'm just within, I made a post this morning. It was like about how precious time is and to give someone your time. Even if all you do is make a connection with someone in the supermarket who isn't going to speak to someone for the rest of another day or for a few days, do it. Smile at them. I'm soft. Yes, I am soft.
No, I'm laughing because I was reminding Ian of an issue we had with somebody in a Tesco's.
Oh right, what happened? Tell.
Hilarious. It's like my favourite thing I've done ever. So Ian and I, sorry, Mr. Mel and I have really good banter, and
I can imagine.
We also so we joke about a Melanie tax. He was telling one of his work colleagues about Melanie tax. So basically, he normally does the shopping because he was helping his mum and doing her shopping, and so he would just go off and do the shopping. But when I come, because obviously there's things that I will just actually I'd like some in the cupboard or like in the pantry or whatever. So the shopping goes up by like twice as much. So that's just the general.
Do you shop hungry?
It doesn't. ADHD impulsive is like, oh, that's amazing. And then it's like a Lego magazine with a little Lego figure and like just some stationery, and all sorts of craziness. I'm sure if he can still hear us, he will attest that I am not lying. That basically it can go up twice, but on this occasion, so he was just shopping around, and I think I saw before we were doing the BDS boycott stuff. So there was 7-Up on the end in the sale, so it was only like £1 instead of like £3 or something like that. So I was like, oh, we like that, I'll put it in. And he hadn't noticed until about 2 or 3 aisles down, and he was like, where did this massive bottle, 2-litre bottle, he was like, where the hell did that come from? And I was like, we do this. We have a whole thing about pretending things haven't happened. And I'm like, I don't know, it must be in fairies or something like that. And we were just like being stupid and bantering. And this guy came up to us, decided to intervene in our thing, and went and said to Ian, sorry, Miss. Well, fuck it. I've already said it twice now.
There's more than one Ian in the world.
Yes. Although there's one in the notes, so in the comments, so that'll be the one. He went and don't forget, the woman's always right.
Oh God.
So I just looked at him and smiled and went, yes, I'm right because I have a vagina.
Did you? Oh my God.
And he just didn't say anything and just scooted off. And I'm like, oh, that was perfect.
That's one way to get rid of someone in Tesco's.
Like, it's a stupid thing to say.
Would have been better if he'd done it in the queue and then he'd left. Then you wouldn't have had so long to wait.
That'd been funny.
That would have been brilliant.
We were at the end of our aisle, and it was just like just chatting away, and he just come up really, really close as well, and went, "Don't forget, she's right. She's always right." I'm like, "Yes, I'm always right because I have a vagina."
There's a weird dynamic, isn't there, in supermarkets when you've got, because there are definitely people who only go out to interact. Because they obviously don't interact with it. But like that experience you had, I used to get it a lot because I had my kids, we had our children really young, and there was 3 of them, and I looked really young as well, even before life got in the way and cracked the face. I did look really young, and it's funny what people feel really comfortable in commenting on. And it's so easy for people to get completely the wrong bloody end of the stick with things as well. The amount of times when the kids were little, I used to have a double buggy with my son on a buggy board, and because the kids are really close in age, and the amount it was Tesco's as well because I lived in Inslade, and the amount of times I avoided going because you'd always get someone saying, "Oh, benefits, mum." Yeah, always. I was look, I was tiny, really skinny, bottle blonde, with these perfect little kids who I think they're perfect, and I look really young. I know I look really young, but I was living my best life. That was even to today. That was the highlight of my life. Was those 3 little. Well, really, they were little tiny terrorists. Mel, they did whatever they wanted, but I didn't care because not in a bad way. They were just happy kids. You know, it was like my little tribe. But people just have funny ideas, and it's already in their heads and indented almost. It's not even that. It's just be less judgy.
Yeah. Well, people, it's like because I am chonky. I have been asked several times, legitimately, when's the baby due? I went to
Oh no!
I can't say it again. Like
oh my god! I hate that.
I just go, I'm not pregnant. I'm just fat.
It's just rolling around the back. I've said that as well.
make them really uncomfortable. Like I'm gonna try and make sure you never fucking ask anyone that again. The best one that people ask that someone asked me something really frigging inappropriate was when I worked at that charity and we were sorting out toys, and it was actually one of the managers or the heads of department came and was talking to one of the other heads of department about their children, and then said to me, "Oh, do you have children, Melanie?" And I'm like, no, I don't. And she was like, how did you escape? And I'm like, just looked her straight in the face and just said, miscarriage. And she was like, you could see like the terror in her eyes. And she's, oh, I'm so sorry, and scuttled off. Because I'm like, it's really just like there's a way you could have asked that, and I would have just said, oh yeah, I was really
I've had a
unfortunate.
journey.
I've had I tried to have children. I had IVF, but unfortunately I lost all the children and all that sort of stuff. But just the fact that it was like, how did you escape? It was just like,
that's really sad, isn't it?
It's so insensitive and just unthinking.
But this is where the mindful element of this comes in as well. It's reading the room, isn't it?
Yeah, you're just
anyone can have foot in mouth disease.
Yes,
anyone can. Anyone can misspeak. It's what you do and where you go from that moment as well. Because I almost think if you back off and scuttle away like a little mouse, you're making it worse because you're going to be uncomfortable with the person next time. You're going to be whatever else.
Just genuinely apologise. I think
always
I'm so sorry. I didn't think of that.
Yeah,
I didn't think of what I was about or what I was saying and what the implications were. And I'm so sorry.
But that all comes with understanding yourself as well and how you react with stuff. Because I think now, if I put my foot in it like that, I'd probably open up the conversation. In the first instance, I say, I'm ever so sorry to hear that, but how did that affect you? Because I think you can actually make a deeper connection with people and get to know them better if they, because that's a lot for you to rather than laugh that off and just say, I just haven't got any. You've actually given an insight into your life experience, which that's not to be discredited.
No,
because that's all of that. That's a lot for you to actually bring up from your own self.
I think there's also,
and your consciousness.
There's also we've gone off topic of Yule.
It doesn't matter.
there's also this like I feel like I fall in this gap.
Goddess of fertility, isn't
That's
she?
True.
So actually, it is relevant
because obviously there are people that have had children, and then there are people that don't want and haven't had children,
which is a life choice and is fine.
And it's perfectly fine. But people see me, I haven't had children, and often think that I have chosen not to have children rather than I wanted children and it would.
And the journey didn't happen for you. And that.
So, now for me, I'm actually, and I'm glad I didn't have children because the world's such a shithole.
We've had this conversation before, haven't we? It's just that it's very different to when I first became a mother than to what the actual how. You know what? statistically it's incredibly hard now even to get a
Mm.
deposit to rent, which that's new. That's
Mhm.
relatively new.
Yes, that's even what. Yeah,
That's
it was-
a new horror.
yeah. It basically means it's getting worse because it was difficult to get a deposit to get a house.
And now you can't. We're going to have houses of incredibly multiple occupants, which is going to go back to the rent a bed. You know, a penny a night. I think will it will be eventually. But
well, we have a new neighbour now where we live. But one of the people that wanted to buy that house before wanted to rent it out as a multiple occupancy place.
Yeah, that's hard.
Luckily, our neighbour was just like, no, because they'd had someone do that round the corner. Because you have to, apparently, I didn't even know this, but you have to get like a license to do that. And they'd had one round the corner and it caused so much drama. The issue being like, because our street is actually quite narrow. It's not like it's not the main street, so it's
is it parking as much as anything?
Like I say, parking, especially multiple. Like next door, they've got a big house, but they've got adult children, and they don't use their driveway. So we have they have 3 cars. Ian has his car.
Yeah,
did it again out the front. Luckily, we have a parking space around the back, so I use that. Oh, low power. So. I think it's the chilliness makes the
well, I think it breaks
my
brain as well when it's cold out here a little bit. It's it was actually warm last week when it was
talk about
the
sensory snapshot bit.
Oh,
we'll do a sensory snapshot and at the end. If you
might as well talk about it now,
on social media. If you follow us on social media, then you'll know what it is. I think it's only us watching anyway, so it's fine. We'll talk about it at the end. One of the things I found interesting about the other holidays was in Japan, New Year is the most important holiday in the calendar, with the second being New Year's Eve. So New Year is called Shogatsu.
Shogatsu, that's a pretty way.
And New Year's Eve is called Omishoka. I'm sorry if I pronounced that. We want to go to Japan, so I do need to learn some Japanese. But basically, pretty much nearly all religions and stuff actually have a holiday, because there's a Buddhist holiday around that time and a Sikh holiday around that time.
It's all about light.
Yeah,
it's all about light and changes in light.
And even Diwali can be around.
Yeah,
obviously that moves as well. So that, I think this year was a lot earlier, but
very end of November, wasn't it? I think it was mid-November actually.
I think it was
mid-November.
So
a birthday.
I think we need to do a thing about calendars, because it's so interesting. Like the Islamic calendar, has all the months have 28 days in it.
It's where we,
and obviously they're in 14 something, because it's from when the Islam was created by Muhammad in the 600s.
Do you know what? It's so interesting, isn't it? It's funny that I'm not informed on any of that bit. I loved history at school, but there's so many elements of it.
It's very white history, isn't it?
Well,
white focused history.
But then I didn't know. I can remember actually doing my own research into the potato famine and being horrified. And if you ever get a chance to have a look at it, and you'll be furious. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to go on about it, because I will go on about it. And then
maybe we can do it. We'll do an episode so you can fully go on about
Victoria.
it.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
Well, it was just
I will go on about it as well. Because at the end of the day, anyone who's starving, I don't.
Yeah.
There's something. Again, it's privilege. But,
yes.
Anyway, back to Yule.
And
the festivities.
Well, I think starving and talking about Christmas, because
I think it's relevant.
It's very relevant.
Yeah,
because
we did that without even knowing we'd done it. That's not uncommon with us either, is it?
I think it's this working for that charity made me realise how even like the Santa, obviously Christmassy bit, the Santa, and it only brings toys to good children is so shit. I think that's the only word I can think.
I watched
Because there's so many children out there that their parents
haven't
just
got
can't
it. Yeah.
afford to buy them, and it's not because they're bad children at all.
There's a bio, an online bio, and it's about she was late teens when she was in the care system in America, and her teacher gifted her a hat, scarf, and glove set, and she took it, opened it in front of the teacher, and in the place, she was actually in a group home. She wasn't in a foster care individual. The group homes don't sound great, to be honest.
No.
But that was her Christmas gift. She put it under the tree, and that was what she had. And I can remember thinking, not only had she been, separated from her family and her siblings, but she had nothing. And you read in the bio, and check yourself. Check yourself for what you've got, because there's there's these memes. We always talk about memes, where people are saying, "Oh, open the Christmas presents. How many of them are going to be unbinted by New Year?" And I kind of think to myself, how ignorant. I'd rather say to people, don't put yourself in debt. Don't. This is it. People really have got the expectation that they've got to, that you love someone more with the size of the gift that you give them. And that's rubbish. That's absolute rubbish. I'd much rather have, I don't want nothing from anyone anyway, to be honest. It's lovely if you do and you thought of me, but it doesn't matter. But I'd much rather have a clear conscience than think to myself or notice that someone's got nothing in their fridge, and yet you've been gifted a gift. And that is some people prioritise that because how we've capitalised Christmas.
Yeah.
That's
because all that judge is again people being judgmental for something that's really not that important. Like
we've got too much stuff anyway.
So yeah, that's why another reason I've got so much stuff. I don't need any more stuff.
No, and it's I
think for people who maybe don't have that much, if there is stuff that they really need.
I think the wish lists work well for that. I think they really do. But do you know what? You can be absolutely rich in goods and jewels or whatever else, but you can have an empty heart. So what's the point really in that? Just be around the people you want to be with. Spend the time off if you've got any with them, and give them time. If they need something doing in the house, make the effort to do it for them. I'd rather gift things like that.
Yeah, if you've got a skill.
If someone wanted me to help them set something up if they needed it, I'll do that for you. And I also hate the fact that in the build-up, people start buying stuff, end of June, July time to budget for themselves. And 3 days before Christmas, the stuff that they've budgeted for is a third of the price. I used to work in the high street, and it used to, if I would go into the shops on Christmas Eve, because there was inevitably something you had to get. So I'm guilty as anyone else. The stuff that you've been putting aside and buying this week and that it's just all dropped in price. And
that's one of the things I wanted to say on our socials was when I was still an adult but a much younger adult, I used to have two. My first stepdad had two boys, and he would have them Christmas one year and New Year the next. So every other year I'd go get a cheap Christmas because I'd wait until the Christmas sales and go and buy loads of stuff for people in the sales.
But it's mindful, isn't it? It's budgeting.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's like, well, actually, talk to your family. Like, why don't we just not really do much this year? Do something really small, and then go and grab everybody a Christmas present for next year.
I actually really love the idea of £10 Secret Santas, but I don't think you have to do £10.
No,
I genuinely, I like the hunt. I like the hunt for a bargain in that way, and if I give you something, it's always given with intent and love, because I think if you're going to put energy into anything, don't do it with spite. Don't give someone something and think, oh, I'll just grab it. I'll just I had this.
Why bother?
I've been
suppose people
gifted
want the
stuff
present
that's
themselves.
been rerouted
Mhm.
before, and that's absolutely fine. That doesn't bother me at all because I think that's better than it going to landfill. And I know it's been rerouted, and I've kind of recognised it. I thought, well, it was lovely anyway. I liked it when I give it you. But
you actually gave
yeah,
them.
don't worry. But that's fine. That is better than it going to landfill, isn't it?
Mhm.
But it's almost the one-upmanship I don't like. It's this, this one's got to have. When kids are in school, there was always that element of when they go back and they talk about what did you get for Christmas on in circle time, and I never got that because I was just like, well, how bloody awful is that for some kids? How and kids are excited, aren't they? Kids are excited to say, I've got a bike, I've got this, I've got that, and then you've got other kids. It's just it's. I don't get the thing either of it. It's from Father Christmas. I know Father Christmas, beautiful, beautiful. This is for adults anyway, but your family worked bloody hard to get that to you. It's almost like
Mr. Mel and his one of his exes. She had a young daughter at the time, and they would say that they gave the money to Santa Claus. I think for some of them, it wasn't that they had to pay Santa Claus to get the stuff for her, rather than just.
But that's a nice acknowledgement to kind of say, Mum, because
we've worked hard for all this stuff.
Yeah, not just think, you know what, if you do really well in school, if your teacher tells me at parents' evening that you're a really, really good girl, then you can do this and this. Because it almost makes it, if I'm such a good person, I can have. So you're capitalising on good behaviour as well.
What do you think of the elf on a shelf?
How fucking annoying is that? Trying to find something to do with it till the end of time. Once you've started it, it's every year.
It's like that again. Like you're being watched and you must be good. It's like a weird.
The elf isn't.
Yeah,
the elf isn't good, are they?
No.
They don't teach by example.
No.
But no, I don't like that. I don't like the elf on the shelf thing because it starts as a bit of fun. My nose is dripping too. We are proper cold out here.
You see.
Like smoking, isn't it? But you start with something like that and then it grows, and then if you lose that elf, because that's every parent's nightmare, because you say, because you humanize these little dudes and you give them names and you get invested in them. I didn't do elf on the shelf. If you go into my Instagram and scroll far enough back, I've got Barbie on the banister, and she did literally some fabulous stuff. I used to get the miniature. She always had tinsel in her hair, and she was always a little bit unkept. But there's one of her riding the chicken that the eggs going in our kitchen with a tiny bottle of Jack Daniels. But yeah, it's there. It's on my Instagram. I did that for 5 days, and then Barbie disappeared. I don't know what happened. And that was that. I'd had enough, Mel.
She just
I'd lost it.
Went to Sunny Crimes.
There is one with a suitcase.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In the going back to Yule in Christmas traditions, Mr. Mel and I watched a. Mr. Mel says the elf got dusted by Thanos in the click and didn't come back. So we watched I think she's from Norway. Kelly Louise Killjoy on YouTube. The link will be in our research doc, Nordic Christmas traditions. It was really interesting and it was going on about the Icelandic. Obviously,
I think I've
Icelandic. The lads. You got about the lads,
probably, babe.
There's lots of weird traditions. Obviously, we can talk about.
Oh, the Norse, is it?
Yeah. I was also thinking. I thought meant to do that. We'll talk about that before we jump on. Basically, there's a different lad for 12 days. I think it is.
Oh yes, yeah.
And they do. I think they're quite not. Isn't it something that the mother? There's a mother who lost their children, then kidnaps boys, and then the boys come down. I can't remember.
There's connotations of
But it's in
the
the video.
Hansel and Gretel come into it, don't they? Because that's the bit that I love the literature. But again, you've got the fairy tales. Fairy tales always have got a little bit of mythology in them, and the ones that stick. It's so interesting. If the crossovers in culture to where it becomes fictionalized.
Again on YouTube, is it? I think it's a person called the Resurrectionists or something, and they look at all the real traditions of all the different stories. I'll tag them in as well. I'll send it
Grimm's,
to you.
yeah.
It's look all the origins that even before Grimm.
Yeah,
where
they
go back, because like you said, it's all myth.
It's
like,
mythology, and mythology are some of the best stories.
Oh, Greek mythology is quite.
Oh, it's dark, but it's
the Minotaur one is quite
intriguing. Yeah,
the story of how the Minotaur came to pass is quite.
I think we could do a whole 2 on that.
Yeah,
we could do. I would like to actually. I think
Greek mythology.
Yeah, and then the crossovers, and then you've even got language as well, and then you go back in, and then we'll look at Latin as well. Yeah, let's do that. Well, we're planning ahead. That's not a bad thing though, because nobody's here.
Well, if you're
just need everyone.
If anybody is here other than Mr. Mel and us, let us know if you would be interested in us looking at Greek mythologies and things like that. We're getting there. We're probably coming to the end now, I think. It is getting cold.
Shall we do sensory sensation?
We can do a sensory snapshot. So the thing we didn't talk about at the beginning, we should have. But if you follow us on our socials, you'll see that I do Monday to Friday a daily sensory snapshot, and it's made up of 4 things. So it's the highest moment of sensation you feel in your body, and you describe it with the location, the temperature, and the movement and the texture. So there was a moment where I felt a cool, icy pressure in the middle, sort of across my shoulders, in the middle of my shoulder blades.
Yeah, I've also got an excruciatingly cold sensation in the heel of my left foot, and it's so cold it actually feels a bit hot, which is a bit weird.
Awesome.
But that's
interesting. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So this is going to be our last
for a couple of weeks
proper episode of the year. We might have a chat, just a chat.
It will end up being an episode.
We'll talk. It'll end up just a chat anyway. So
yeah.
But if anybody joins us, it'll be just like,
it'd be nice.
It won't be a theme. It'll just be whatever comes up. And then we'll be back sometime in January.
Yeah, I think it's about the 4th, isn't it? Somewhere around there. I think
it's the Monday, isn't it? So
yeah, I'm on the wrong calendar.
You're on the you're on the K calendar.
Yeah, my own world. I also want to just say something about mindfulness and supporting our homeless community. It's cold. There's especially in the town where we live and Milton Keynes. We're both very aware of this, aren't we? I've got a long and good long-standing relationship with our big issue seller. If you can support them, even if it's just this time of year, do something. Just go and have a talk to them, see what they need. If you can't buy it, then perhaps just say, do you want a drink? Because it's cold. It's cold. That's all I want to say. I'm not telling anyone.
Yeah,
you know, each and every one of us is only a few steps away from where those people sit. And remember that.
Yeah.
That's
often,
life.
They always say
life
that
happens.
we often only like one pay packet away from being homeless.
And especially how expensive everything is now. I think it's less than that. I think if a catastrophe happens, I don't think we're prepared with 3 months in the bank like was everyone's contingency plans in the years gone.
One of the things that I want to launch proper in the future is a 20p campaign. And this is more not for obviously the big issue sellers, but if you see a homeless person, we often actually they're sort of dehumanized, and it's because we try and pretend they're not there because our own guilt and discomfort with the fact that we're not helping someone who clearly needs help. So I was trying to look for the story. I remember reading it about 10 years ago, about how a pastor in America used to keep a very small coins, and I thought 20p would be a good equivalent in the UK. Just basically, he'd get loads of them and keep in his pocket, and then every homeless person that he gave one to. So if everybody does that, then they will get a nice little sum. And I think it's if you don't, you want to be careful, because obviously some people they're like, oh well, there could be just some people have come out in the past and sat there when they're not really homeless. So, but if you see someone there at night when it's this cold, nobody who actually has a home is going to be sitting there in the cold unless they really have to. So, if you generally give more, it's not like, oh well, I only give 20p. It's like if you normally ignore them, just keep some 20p's in your pocket, and every time you see them, speak to them and say hello and treat them, because they are human beings and they are really, they're people who are struggling. They're often people who have mental health conditions or have had abuse at home,
or veterans,
and if you want to help support, help for heroes or whatever, this is another way of helping. It's just like 20p to you. A lot of people isn't a huge amount, so it's something you can. The amount of homeless people you see, it's not so, and it's just
also be mindful, just from personal experiences, that there may be other underlying issues going on at the time if you approach. I've also been in a situation where I've tried to approach someone to offer help, and then they've not been in a great place themselves. So just be mindful, read the room, read the situation. And
I'm thinking more people who were sitting there with a little
pot or something. So often you don't. I mean, I encountered something yesterday that wasn't that comfortable, but things happen, don't they? And nobody knows anyone's story. But just be mindful and try not to put yourself in any danger as well. Not that you necessarily are, and you'd be unlucky if that were to happen, I think.
Yeah, it's just it. I think even if it's 20p, then even if it was somebody who, I think who wasn't truly homeless, it doesn't matter to you if it's 20p.
No, it doesn't. We're a cashless society as well. So if you're actually going to the effort to be carrying those 20p's, I think you're already on the road to making some good and doing some and helping, because you've consciously decided that if I encounter this, it's pre-thought, and I like that. I like that a lot. It's all about mindfulness.
And it's like you might, it might be that, well, actually 20p, I'm going to carry 50p's or whatever. But it's just whatever I would say 20, whatever denomination. That's to do with. There's a word that means amount of money.
Our brains are now gone.
Well, my brain has now frozen because it's quite cold.
Merry Yule.
Yeah.
And we will see you
soon. Yes. Possibly next week or maybe in the new year.
We'll see what happens. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.